Hello, Genesis family. Happy Friday, and welcome to day 6 of our 21 days of prayer and fasting. I hope everybody's first week is going amazing, that you're really utilizing this time and being able to go deeper in your faith and draw a lot closer to God, or maybe you're using this opportunity to hear what He has to say to you, which is actually what I'm going to talk about today. If you've already done the devotional for today, you might think it's kind of funny that this is the day I'm leading it because it's all about Jesus not liking crowds, which I can relate to. But what the writer of our devotional says is that it wasn't that Jesus didn't like the crowds. I might have used a little liberty with that one, but that he needed to get away from them. That every time Jesus found himself in one of these crowds, he was doing something good. He was healing, he was teaching. Nothing he was doing in those crowds wasn't something that we would, consider a time waster or something that he shouldn't be doing. Everything he was doing was good, but he still withdrew. In the verse that it gives us, it talks about how he went away into solitude for a time, and the crowds were like not hunting him, but they were searching for him and trying to find him because they wanted him to come back. And so if Jesus was doing all this good work whenever he was with these crowds, why did he feel the need to withdraw? Why did he peel away at times? And the writer of our devotional tells us that he did this because he was trying to find this balance between what's good versus what's God. And what he means by that is it's very easy to get caught up in doing good things because they're good things. And so we don't typically tend to think of them as time wasters or things that, that we need to stop doing, or that we're not doing something for God, because we see all these things as good. And it's easy to get busy with good. But when Jesus withdrew, it wasn't because he wanted to stop doing good. It was because he wanted to know what God had for him next, which is kind of the bulk of what I want to talk to you about. Something my mom always says, has said my entire life, is, what does your God gut say? That's her phrase, God gut. Feel free to use that, but you got to give her credit whenever I think you owe her like a nickel or something every time you say it. God gut. I think we're all aware that God doesn't typically tend to speak to us in an audible voice, as awesome as that would be. A lot of times it shows up in kind of that gut feeling. But that gut feeling is really easy to miss if we're busy with good or busy with whatever. We have to withdraw. We have to do what we're doing in these 21 days and seek God. We got to encounter him. We got to pray and enter into that space of, God, I'm here and I'm listening and I want to know what's next. And we can typically tell if we're ignoring our gut, not if we're ignoring our God gut, correction, and if we're doing something that we want to do because we think it's the good thing to do, when it might not be what God has for us. Your God gut can apply to everyday situations just as much as it can big picture decisions. And I think that's, Jesus certainly lived in that dependency on that God gut. We see that whenever he was faced with a decision or things got busy or, whatever was coming next, the default was to to lean into that God gut and to figure out what's next. He wasn't, steering himself. And for us, I think that's what we should strive to reach, is that default God gut setting that when we find ourselves faced with decisions, whether they're daily or major decisions, or we find ourselves becoming overwhelmed with the busyness of life, or even the busyness of doing good, that we take time to separate and to pray and to lean in and to figure out what our God gut is saying, what God is trying to communicate to us, and where we should head next. So that is all I got for you today. I hope that your 21 days continue going well. I hope that you're utilizing this time, and I look forward to seeing all you guys on Sunday. Have a good Friday.